Namaste, angels. This is the weekly general reading for the period of Sunday, January 13th through Saturday, January 19th. And I think this one's going to be a little bit quicker than the others. I hope it will be. Actually, I'm going to try to make it so. Also, I don't have that many things to talk about, although on the 17th is the feast day of St. Anthony of Egypt, who's one of my favorite saints, although he's not like an apostle or something. And I probably would have otherwise spoken about him. But lately, the general and love reading, I know a bunch of people don't get their notifications, and my subscribers continue to increase. I mean, I'm still like not much more than the 5,000 that I had, but it's, it's progress. I continue to grow, not decline. But I have less people watching the videos. So I think more and more people are not getting the notifications, they're not knowing. And while I would never want to reduce my quality, and I never plan to reduce my quality, and I commit to always maintaining the same quality, if just getting better, if anything. If I can avoid putting an hour's worth of energy into something that, not many people are going to watch, I don't mind doing that too, because I got a lot on my plate. I got a lot of clients, for energy healing and for private readings and some other stuff. I've had clients going for surgery, and they've needed my services. I have some that have weddings and things on the horizon. I am a licensed and ordained pastor. I can perform those ceremonies. So I have, I don't, if I can use my time elsewhere, and I'm a mother, a divorced mother, so a single mother. I raise my kids here in New York. My ex-husband lives in another state. He lives down south. So I have a family I'm raising. If I can put some of that time into something else, then I welcome that. So we'll see. However it turns out, it turns out. But I'm gonna hope to not have to give it an hour while maintaining the integrity of what I'm doing. So on that note, might as well ask you now to like, share, and subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, to check, your settings and stuff if you do not get your notifications, because I really don't know how else to go about this anymore. So I'll probably talk about St. Anthony of Egypt to my Patreon subscribers and sponsors on the 17th, which is Thursday. But this week from the Christian calendar, I will talk about the baptism of the Lord, and the Lord in this case, of course, being Jesus Christ, because it's the Christian calendar. I understand he's not everybody's Lord. In any case, I'm going to www.franciscanmedia.org in order to read about him. The baptism of the Lord. For most of us, the Christmas season ended a couple of weeks ago. Decorations are probably already packed away, and perhaps some of the kids' toys may have already been broken. Certainly, they've run out of batteries more than once. Hello, I'm Father Greg Friedman, and this is the quote-unquote Sunday soundbite for the baptism of the Lord. This feast marks the ending of the Christmas season. Traditionally, the event of Christ's baptism was linked to the visit of the Magi and the wedding feast of Cana as two additional manifestations, they have in quotes, of God with us. Matthew's simple account of the baptism ends with the heavenly voice introducing, quote unquote, my beloved son. Here at the end of our focus on the mystery of Christmas, we are invited to welcome the beloved one into our midst once more, and to prepare ourselves through the Sundays which follow to hear this proclamation of good news. Many have experienced the wish that the spirit of Christmas lasts all through the year. Christians take that responsibility seriously, or at least they should. It says they take it seriously here. Thank you, Raphael. Yeah, I digress too. We want to make the meaning of Christmas, the fact that God has come to dwell with us in Jesus Christ, the central fact of life. And we want all we say and do to help to express, to make manifest that basic truth. Merry Christmas one more time. The story of the baptism of the Lord. So that was it. There's nothing on the Christian calendar. There's nothing on the Muslim, the Islamic calendar. And I'm going to go to the celestial calendar already. So on January 19th at 1:58 p.m., Jupiter will be square Neptune. For that, to talk about what that means, I've gone to just an arbitrary site that came up when I, Googled the term that I was looking for, Jupiter square Neptune. Mystic Medusa, mysticmedusa.com. Jupiter square Neptune is coming. It's the super mutable, potentially scatty, but highly adaptive counterpart to the other big theme of 2019, the new Earth era. In the words, square Neptune, square Neptune almost bring you out in hives, because you recall the Saturn square Neptune delusion smashing festival of late 2014 until 2017. Compose yourself. Why can't I read today? Compose yourself. The font is very tiny. Compose yourself. Jupiter's squares are not like the ouster winds of Saturn. They amplify the Neptune vibe. Sagittarius and Pisces are already plotting something. Just ask one of them and watch the sly smile spread across their face. Everyone is restless at the moment, but the mutables are nearly unhinged because of it. I have my face like so close to this to my laptop screen right now, like I don't have reading glasses. I don't use them, but I just really was having trouble seeing this font. Anyway, the Neptune vibe being so amped means that decadent, escapist thrills to avoid dystopian news flows, art, and compassionate causes are all in. Think also Love Zombie as a legit lifestyle and fashion trend, not ever having to develop, quote unquote, the thing into any sort of a, quote unquote, real relationship will become the point, not an unfortunate side effect. Actually, to be serious for a moment, if you did the hard grind embracing reality and looking at your own part in any delusional or addictive behavior patterns over that interminable Saturn-Neptune square, Jupiter square Neptune, nearly all of 2019, will be so rewarding. So that was that. I hope it made sense, because I know I stumbled over it, and I apologize for that. And then so that's the first day for which this reading is. And then on the 19th, the last day for which this reading is the next one. At 6:57 p.m., Uranus will be semi-sextile Chiron. And for that, I have gone to www.astrologyfix. How Uranus semi-sextile Chiron guides your healing process. And this, again, is arbitrary. I typed in the transit, about which I was going to be speaking, and just grabbed one. Certain aspects are talked about more than others. For example, people focus on sextiles, opposites, and conjuncts pretty often. But certain aspects are usually ignored in favor of, quote unquote, bigger astrological events, though these, quote unquote, important aspects can actually make a noticeable impact on our lives. One of these aspects is the often ignored semi-sextile. Now, it's funny because those are the ones that I tend to mention, and I ignore some of the other ones that I guess he's saying are bigger. These are the ones that I feel are bigger. Anyway, people may not begin paying attention until two planets have formed a perfectly sextile aspect. But the semi-sextile aspect is important too. It can still affect our emotions in our daily lives. On December 10th, Uranus forms a semi-sextile aspect with Chiron. Chiron is another heavenly body that we don't hear much about, even though it can play a huge role in some very important astrological processes. So what does this weekend have in store? Number one, you will begin to focus on new methods of healing. Chiron represents the healer, and this can relate to mental or physical healing. You might be focusing on one area, or you might be focusing on both. This aspect will cause you to question the methods that you've been using for your self-improvement and self-care, and to open your mind to new strategies. Do your research on whatever you're thinking of, trying to see what works for you. Number two, you will understand that the healing process will never truly end. All human beings are bruised and broken in some way, and this is not something that we have to be ashamed of at all. We need to embrace these flaws and to understand that they make us unique and human. Where would we be without the trials that we face that have forced us to grow and to change for the better? This aspect will help you up to the fact that life is a journey and that the healing process must continue throughout our entire journey. Number 3, you may have to turn to spirituality as a healing tool, or you may desire to turn to it. This could mean meditation, prayer, or some other ritual. In my opinion, they're all the same. Meditation, prayer, intention, law of attraction, all the same. It could also mean attending services of some kind or meeting with spiritual leaders in your community. It also could mean undertaking a unique spiritual journey of your own. For example, you may want to embark on a long solo trip or a short retreat that you can have time and space to yourself and to grow and learn. If you have the opportunity to do so, go ahead and take it. Don't hesitate. Your experiences may be life-changing. Number 4, you might be tempted to use drugs or other mind-altering substances. This aspect can provoke your curiosity about drugs or other substances that can affect your thought process and physical being. Be very careful about substituting substances for actual spiritual growth. Your journey should come from within, not from these outside substances. You already have all the tools within that you need to grow and to create positive change in your life. So do not feel like you need to partake in any illegal or dangerous activities in order to do so. And that was that. And those are our 2 aspects. So I'm going to get to the cards. First, the dice. We're beginning with no, romantic dinner, and spend money. Spirit says dirty movie, which can be because of Neptune, right? Maybe dreamy. This could be visions. I often connect dirty movie with like FaceTime and stuff, but the first thing that came to mind was like visions, like movies in your head. Also, try again. And party. It's 50-50. No one should be carrying an entire balance burden alone, and all things need balance. The cards. Remember last week, all those 5s of swords over and over and over again. The 5 of swords, the 5 of swords, 5s in general. We've moved on. I hope for the duration of the reading. We've moved on to the 6 of swords, the 6 of air. Things are looking up. It's the end of a difficult situation. May even be taking a trip. That can be true for some people, like literal. For others, this moving is figurative, right? It's metaphorical, but it's positive. It's forward moving only. We're not moving backwards. Opening to the 3 of earth, the power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work. Be a team player. Perhaps something at work improved, or relationship with other people at work, or on a group project. Maybe we were running into obstacles in some sort of project that we're working on together, and things are finally working out. Maybe we need to go on a group business trip, and there had been something there. You may have an individual relationship, maybe even a romantic one, with someone that you met at work, and there's progress there now too. Or in abundance, particularly of the financial or the material that you have earned. That's what the 3 of earth means for me too. That's moving forward too. So maybe where somebody's bonus was stuck. Maybe where somebody's raise was stuck. This could be connected for some to the shutdown in the United States as well. Maybe there'll be progress moving there. And some people that expected to lose money won't, or some programs that were expected to end will be saved and supported, or some decision will be reached. I think yesterday was the first official day. It would have been like the day of the first federal paychecks since the shutdown. And, you know, so the first time people officially missed that check. 6 of air. Okay. Here come the 5s again. The 5 of water. Things not turning out the way you'd hoped. Not seeing the positive in the situation and crying over spilled milk. So this can be about like missing the point, not counting one's blessings, not, you know, failure to be optimistic, being super pessimistic and doubtful and, oh, woe is me. And sometimes, you know, into the obnoxious realm, like, why does everything happen to me? Why is this? Meanwhile, you know, those times when people are like that, they're going on about what they're suffering, and you look around and you're like, it's not that bad to me. Like, I wish I had that and that and that, you know. You don't seem as, you know, hard up as you're claiming. It can be that way too with this card. Six of air and the Emperor, major arcana card, the Emperor, which represents the planet Mars for me. Organization and logic, structure and discipline, leadership. Mars, ruler of Aries, where he's currently located. Mars is located in Aries right now. And also Scorpio, he rules. Speaking of Scorpio, it is major arcana card, Judgment, which does for me represent the sign of Scorpio. Review and evaluate. A favorable assessment of the facts. It's time to move in a new direction. Like the 3 of Earth that's already been here, Judgment for me in many ways is about abundance that is earned or abundance that you're due. Like either you earned it with work, hard work, like on this plane, or you earned it with your, you know, good works for humanity, the universe, and your karma is paying off. And, you know, so you're getting something because of that. Or it can be about, you know, actual judgment, legal judgment, or some sort of decision that you're awaiting or making, handing down. As it relates to relationships, it's about coming to a crossroad and you deciding, like, where do we go from here, if anywhere. Sometimes the relationship is over, right? It's dead. And it sounds like that might be happening with some of the 2 transits that we discussed. It said, like, not giving basically any extra energy to a relationship that's not real, you know, recognizing it for what it is. It's just a thing. That was the word she used. And it can be about just being judgmental, like watch like the guilt feelings, or being like morality police against somebody else. Especially opposite the Emperor. This is you taking control of your own life, you know, the reins of your own life, or again, where it's waiting for a judgment, could be legal. The Emperor could be some sort of, you know, authority, maybe a government agency or office or something, and you're awaiting some sort of answer, some sort of, you know, judgment from them. Renewal. And the 8 of fire, events moving at a fast pace, delays are over, and many things are happening at once. This is also a card of communication, but it's, as an 8, it's a card of karma. And opposite that, judgment, as I was just saying, judgment can be about our karma, what we've earned, what we deserve. 8 of fire. And the high priestess, listen to your intuition, have patience, and consider carefully what you want before acting. High priestess is someone who is very observant before she makes a move. And she is a water sign or a Gemini, as far as I'm concerned. On that note, the Queen of Water, also a water sign, quite possibly. Tenderhearted, empathetic, patient, and loving. She may be a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition, care for yourself and others. High Priestess. And speaking of Gemini, it's the Knight of Air and of decisions and judgments. Intelligent, decisive, idealistic, and tireless, and of the government shutdown. The president is a Gemini. Events that occur with great speed, Take time to carefully review your options so you can come up with creative solutions. The Knight of Air is indeed a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Could be Mercury himself, currently located in Capricorn. Could be Venus herself, currently located in Sagittarius. And having some sort of transit toward the end of the week, if I remember correctly, with Mars. That we just saw the Emperor. So that could have something to do with what we will see in a moment as well. And still speaking of judgments and decisions and Geminis, the overall energy is Major Arcana card, the Lovers, which represents the sign of Gemini. Intimate relationships. Carefully weigh your decisions. Also, this card is about good health. Let me put my ring on. I didn't even notice that was... What was this about? Okay, that's better. I didn't even feel naked. You know how I usually feel naked if you're missing something? Because even though I changed my bracelets, my, my rings, I always wear the same ones. Crowning the masculine, it is the Eight of Water, a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful and spiritual and emotional growth. This could be connected to try again with the die, or it's 50-50. You know, maybe moving away from some disagreement where it wasn't 50-50, now able to come together on a compromise. This could be spiritual enlightenment or the desire for it, you know, feeling confused and not being able to connect the dots and wanting to be able to. For some, it could be more literal. They're looking to, you know, move somewhere else on this plane. They feel is better suited. Surrounding the masculine is the Six of Air. Speaking of moving or traveling, perhaps. Things are looking up at it's the end of a difficult situation. You may even be taking a trip. The Six of Air, for me, can definitely be about travel. You know, especially like when it comes up with the Four of Air. I say like the Four of Air is the planning stage, and then the Six of Air is the actual, you're getting ready to go. But it can be figurative, like the Eight of Water as well. And it's about a moving forward. Calmer, stiller waters ahead. No more of that rocky stuff. Or because you want to move beyond something, you may be going to visit somebody or desire to visit somebody or have them visit you. Masculine subconscious, it's the Queen of Air. So she is independent, experienced, realistic, and witty. Objective decision making, clearing away all that no longer serves you. So like anything that was holding you back because you didn't want to compromise, you didn't want to apologize, you didn't want to be forward thinking or moving, you know, getting rid of that. Queen of Air comes through and gets rid of that. And now you want to move on. You have a desire to, you need to. Seeing humor in a situation too. You may laugh at yourself for having been so stubborn or ridiculous for so long. The Queen of Air, I didn't point out, is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Could be Venus herself showing up here in this man's mind, or perhaps Mercury. Crowning the feminine, life experience, or the Tower. Major Arcana card 16. A significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. So, similar to the masculine, perhaps, looking for clarity, and then she has the epiphany. He's at an 8 here. She's at a 7. 8 is karma, so that could be after having experienced the 7, the spirituality, and now moving into a karmic area. With her, she's at 7. Spirituality, God, stepping in. Here, here's an epiphany. Or here's an event that's going to shake up your life and knock you down, turn you upside down. It may feel horrible at the time. It's for the best. You know, similar to what the Queen of Air can be about, which it mirrors. Queen of Air gets rid of stuff. We don't always like to get rid of things and people. You know, I know that they say like, we're called winter signs, and we're cold as steel, as in swords. But you know, we care about people and stuff, and like to hold on to it too. That's natural. But it's about being able to reach that place where you know, cut off that emotional aspect that is clouding your judgment, perhaps, and you know, you let go of what you need to let go. That's what life experience is about. People look at the tower and they say like, oh my God, it's the tower. I'm so scared. The tower can be awesome. And if the masculine's cards are any clue, I'd say this one is going to be. But let's see. Surrounding the feminine, it's the world. Now the world and the tower are almost the same kind of energy, except the world is slow moving and the tower is abrupt. So if she's surrounded by this one for some time, it's possible she's been eased out of a situation. I'll give you an example. You're at the job, things not going well. You're feeling you should quit or, you know, start looking for a new job. You don't. Things continue to get worse. You have disagreements with people. There are evil colleagues that want you out and they mess with you and try to get you in trouble with the boss, and you know, for you to get overlooked for a promotion and stuff like that. And you know, slowly it's the universe trying to push you to the door to make you go and look for a new job. And then boom, you get fired, or boom, government shutdown, or boom, you know, you get a phone call with a new job, you know, but you got to take it now. This is a one-time right now offer, and it's sudden. So it's to the same end, but this is a slow moving energy. And for me, feels like fire. It's of the fire element. I haven't attributed it to a particular sign, you know, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, but I feel fire. And the tower, I feel Scorpio. I feel death. It's a card that's very much like death for me, because everything gets knocked down, similar to, you know, what Lord Ganesha would come and do, like barreling through and knocking everything down. Or Lord Shiva, the destroyer, knocking everything down and rebuilding it better. Slow, quickly, abrupt. It can be about clarity too. Slowly coming into some sort of understanding. And then boom, one day it hits you for whatever reason, whatever triggers it. So that's the feminine. Her subconscious here, the magician. Maybe you brought this in. Maybe you caused whatever this is. The magician represents the sign of Gemini for me, like the Queen of Air, which it mirrors. Sometimes, you know, I feel the other mutable signs also. So maybe this is showing up here with, you know, today because of that Jupiter and Neptune sextile that we talked about. Neptune, ruler of Pisces, which is a mutable sign. Jupiter, ruler of Sagittarius, which is a mutable sign. You are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them. And life is magical. So that means you can, you know, bring about whatever change you want for yourself or, you know, the world, humanity, with your positive and focused intentions and thoughts and prayers. Crowning. Major Arcana card, Strength. Great inner strength. Release harsh judgments. Instead, exercise some forgiveness and compassion. Major Arcana card, Strength, represents the sign of Leo, which is a fire sign. Here, crossing the world, which I said is also of the fire element. When strength shows up, it means anything that comes our way, no matter how difficult it looks on the surface, that it's going to be, you know, to deal with, we have the ability to face it. This is starting to look like my natal chart. this spread here. Oh, you know, I have my sun and moon in the air element. Gemini and Aquarius. Speaking of karma and eights, Jupiter is in Scorpio. Scorpio. I'm a Leo rising. Yeah, he's my Gemini sun. I just looked down and was like, wait a minute, this looks like me. It's like a picture of me on the table. Oh, that's funny. At the root, foundation. Speaking of Neptune and Piscean energy, the 9 of water. Your wish comes true, concerns fade away, and you have a love of life. The 9 of water is all about dreams, right? All those visions and things that we have with Neptunian energy surrounding us. Coming true. Fantasies beginning to manifest into reality. Manifest. Prayers being answered. Can also be a big resounding yes from the minor arcana. Like if you had a yes or no question. Especially as it relates to love. At the heart of the matter. The page of air. Logical, honest, impulsive, and curious. Challenging information. Maybe that's what came in. That was the thing that initiated or triggered something. Triggered the tower. Delays or changes to plans. Maybe that's the tower. Truth delivered without tact. That may be for what you need the strength, right? To handle the truth. The page of air is also a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, just like the Queen here. And with the two of them sitting here together, it could be representative of some sort of partnership, not necessarily a couple. If it's a couple, maybe one is older, perhaps specifically the feminine is older than this masculine here, or maybe there's a parent and child situation. We're going to find out, or we're going to try to at least, or further find out what this spread may be about by clarifying it a little bit further with another tarot deck, beginning with more Piscean energy, Neptunian energy, and the Princess of Summer, which for me is the Page of Cups. And the pages, like I said about the page of air, I tend to attribute to the mutable sign, although that's not the way it works in tarot. Like in tarot, Gemini would be the Knight of Air, the Knight of Swords. It's the page for me because that's the more youthful of the element. So same thing with the Princess of Summer. This is a Pisces or a Cancer or a Scorpio, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, maybe younger or a child. Sensitive, kind, open-hearted, and inexperienced. You know, think like innocence. You can expect to kindle a new romantic relationship or a close platonic friendship. You may suddenly receive an emotional message from someone. Or be invited to a social event, which that could be this too. That could knock you off your feet. Like, I've been waiting a long time for this person to invite me to something. Yes, my dream is coming true. My prayers have been answered. He or she is finally showing up, you know, and inviting me. Opening to the 7 of Summer. It's time to stop procrastinating to make a decision so that you can move forward with a priority. If you need to do more research, then do so, but don't overthink the situation like an air sign, like a Gemini. Listen to your heart. You're like a water sign. Another 8 of Spring. You've been presented with many wonderful opportunities all at once. While this may feel stressful, remember, like stressful, overwhelming, remember to be grateful for the blessings that heaven sends you. 8 of Spring or Wands, again, can be about communication. And as an 8 is about karmic energy, meaning, you know, God, the universe, karma, playing a role at hand and working behind the scenes. And it's another Princess of Winter. This is an intellectual challenge that calls upon your ability to think of a matching solution. If helpful information is put to you bluntly, accept the message without being bothered by the messenger. Princess of Winter. And the Queen of Autumn, thoughtful, caring, creative, ingenious. You'll be given advice that's both practical and creative, and it should be followed precisely. Focus only upon the positive in every situation or person. The Queen of Earth, Autumn, is a Capricorn where Mercury currently is. That might be why the Page of Air showed up opposite it. Or a Taurus, which is ruled by Venus, along with Gemini, which might be why the Page of Air showed up opposite it. Or a Virgo, which along with Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which could be why the Page of Air showed up. The Page of Air showed up opposite the Queen of Autumn. In any case, Queen of Autumn is here. She is somebody she could be like a bookkeeper type, a creditor, maybe like an accountant, or somebody good with money, somebody who's a facilitator of you coming into some. If she plays a negative role, she's somebody like that entices you with money, tries to rule you with money, or drag you around by the purse strings, as they say. Right? She's chained to your pocket when she's upside down. You know what? Let's go ahead and cut on this note. And it's another 3 of Autumn. Your most satisfying and profitable career or relationship comes from following your passions, listening to your heart, and doing what brings you joy. Your life purpose is best fulfilled by allowing your talents and true self to shine forth out into the world. Again, the 3 of Autumn is about abundance that you're due. You have earned it. Right? You do some sort of accolade, reward, recognition, praise, acknowledgement, bonus, raise, promotion, special consideration. This can also have to do with some sort of party of 3. Not necessarily a love triangle, but that is a possibility. Overall energy is the 7 of Winter. Caution will help you to avoid the loss of valuables, including non-material resources such as time or peace of mind. Be aware of the results of your actions as well as what others might be doing behind your back. Now, the 7 of Swords, our overall energy can be a risky energy, right? You're taking a chance. You feel anxious, nervous maybe about it. In love, there might be some trust issues in your relationship, right? Because it can be about thievery and dishonesty, right? Somebody that's like a shifty kind of character. At work, since this is a general reading, at work, your boss may have a close eye on you too, like be watching you. Maybe because of something, again, that he's heard, something that's funky, that he's heard that I'm not saying is true, that probably isn't true, like a rumor or something. But make sure that you stay on your, like they say, that your P's and Q's, because like you're under surveillance. Yeah, I guess that's it. All right, so atop the 8 of Cups, it's another, I was going to say another Page of Winter. No, I'm sorry. It's the Knight of Winter. Decisive, focused, driven, and impulsive. Get ready for progress to speed up. This situation requires you to choose logic and intellect over emotion. Here's the emotion here, 8 cups of it. But you need logic and intellect instead. And to make your decisions quickly So the Eight of Water, again, like I said, could be about moving on, could be literally moving, traveling. We had the Six of Water here, deciding what to do. Now the Prince of Winter says you got to do it quickly. You're anxious about this choice, maybe fearful even to move on or to move towards someone or away from someone, maybe an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or someone of those traits, you know, or heavy air in their chart or something. You've got like a decision to make. Atop the Six of Air, card of travel. It's another 8. Major Arcana card 17, the Star, which represents the planet Uranus and the sign of Aquarius, which it rules. Uranus, which went direct last week after many, many months of having been in retrograde, and is now direct in Taurus. We'll be stationed for like 8 years. You are about to take a big leap forward. So maybe it means risk in this case, the Seven of Swords, that's our overall energy. Big leap forward with your life. Worry, right? This anxiety of the Prince of Winter or of air signs in general will be replaced with optimism. Fear, like I said, could be here too, with hope. And joy is coming home to roost. Because again, moving into calmer, stiller waters. The Star may be in Aquarius or other air sign. Or it could be about communication too. And it's here crossing the Nine of Cups. Both cards are about dreams coming true as well. Wishes being granted, prayers being answered. So, you know, you could have been praying to go on a trip, to travel, or for things in your life to improve, to get better. For your strength. And you've got it. Atop the Queen of Air. It's the Empress. It's basically the Queen of Air. It's not the same card, but yeah, it's Venus. Time to hop into action. Use your natural creativity to bring forth prosperity and success in your life. The Empress is a Libra, Gemini, as it relates to being a Queen of Air, or perhaps a Taurus, also ruled by Venus. This could be a person of the masculine persuasion, not necessarily a male, but it could be, just for the sake of grammar, right, pronouns, be someone's, you know, son leaving home, right? This could be the mother here that they're thinking about. Up here, we got a decision. We want to move away. We desire something bigger, something more, but we're anxious about it. But at the same time, we want it. We want to move. We want to travel. We want to get away. Our mother could be involved, or we could be moving toward, you know, our life purpose, some sort of creative outlet that on which we're to focus, maybe for the purposes of bringing about abundance, which, you know, Venus is all about. Venus is the ruler of love and money, abundance in all forms, beauty, confidence. So we could be having some sort of something connected to our life purpose, you know, ideas that we've been having, and we want to put them into action, but we're afraid a little bit. But at the same time, we've got to make a decision. Maybe an opportunity has arisen for us to be able to do that. And, you know, it's go time. Are you ready or not? This could be him thinking about having children too. Maybe wanting to have children or not wanting to have children. Also coming to me. Maybe needing to leave the mother of his child. That could be one of the things that was just a thing that came up in last week's reading, where I said somebody's man, you know, had somehow got mixed up with somebody he doesn't care about, and he feels stuck in that relationship, maybe because of a baby or something. So it can be something like that, like wanting to leave your child or children's mother, but having some fear associated with that. Again, here's the strength to do it. Maybe your prayers have been answered for an opportunity to do it. for you to move on somehow. I thought I was getting something. I'll come back if it comes back, because I don't want to just be sitting there thinking. Atop the Tower, it's the King of Autumn. Compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, and grounded. Everything's going to turn out great. So even if something gets turned upside down and doesn't look great, it's going to turn out great. Or something could be turned up, something could get turned upside down, and from the onset you can tell it's great. It's like, oh my God, money, abundance. You know, love with an earth sign, perhaps, you know, or a love that's going to be long lasting. I can feel it already. I can feel the value, the worth, the longevity that's here. Everything's going to turn out great. Projects will be stunningly successful. So maybe like a project here. We have the Empress mirroring this. They'll be stunningly successful. Exciting new career opportunities, they're also possible. I talked about maybe leaving one job, going to getting a call about another. Money or resources that come your way will be invested wisely. Atop the World, that's slower energy than the Tower. The Queen of Summer, compassionate, loving, giving, and psychic. This is a time of deep emotions and heightened intuition that you can trust completely. Be mindful that you don't ignore your own needs while you're taking care of others. The Queen of Summer is a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. She represents the emotion tied to this thing you're going through. And maybe the person with whom you're going through it. You know, a direct water sign, possibly. Atop the Magician and your ability to manifest whatever you need, it is the Princess of Summer. Sensitive, kind, open-hearted, and inexperienced. You can expect to kindle a new romantic relationship or a close platonic friendship. You may suddenly receive an emotional message from someone or be invited to a social event. The Princess of Summer, again, is a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And like the Queen and Page of Swords, we now have a Queen and Page of Summer, or Cups, and there could be some sort of coupling or partnership here, parent and child, you know, older person and younger person in some sort of relationship. Crowning atop Strength, the Three of Autumn. Your most satisfying and profitable career or relationship comes from following your inner passions, listening to your heart, and doing what brings you joy. Your life purpose is best fulfilled by allowing your talents and true self to shine forth out into the world. And you have like the strength to do that with Major Arcana card Strength sitting there with the Three of Autumn. Atop the Nine of Water and dreams coming true is the Four of Spring, the Four of Wands. Talk about dreams coming true, right? It's time to kick back, relax, and to celebrate all that you have. Joy arises from success in your career, the completion of a project, or a very happy home life. Four of Spring can be about marriage, committed relationships, especially crossing the Queen of Cups here, or the Star, right? Your dream come true. It's dream upon dream, because we have the Four of Spring joining the Nine of Cups, which is also about dreams coming true. So this could be the new home that you've been praying for, masculine, your desire to move in a literal sense into a new home or into a relationship. Whatever that thing is that would make you particularly happy and at peace, at least for a time, is what this Four of Spring represents in your life. At the heart of the matter, atop the Page of Air, it's the Four of Autumn. Be cautious about living a life of extremes or seeing things in black and white terms. Consider, for example, whether you're spending too much versus hoarding your wealth, or giving too much emotionally versus putting up walls that keep people out. 4 is about our foundations. The one of earth is about earthly matters in particular. Again, could be about a home, our family, and trying to form that, build that. Our dream having come true, that it's beginning to come together. Together on the part of the feminine in particular, I see a lot of nerves and trying to like repress them so they don't get the best of you. The Page of Cups, for example, with the Magician can be about like being confused, not confused. Well, yeah, I guess confused could be the word. Unsure, like what to do, or like feeling like sort of like whimsical, like I don't even know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm just like going with it. Kind of. We're crossing the Page of Air and the 4 of Autumn. These are both, or together, these are cards that can be about maybe being afraid of you know, what's going on around you. Again, in the earthly matters, perhaps, things you're dealing with or feeling overwhelmed, but like not showing it. You know, like how Geminis are like unemotional. Air signs in general, for the most part. I said Gemini because it's the page, but yeah, unemotional. And you won't know. I know, especially it's especially true of us Geminis. You won't know typically if something is bothering or concerning a Gemini. You know, you just won't. And I have that's what's going on here, especially since this is here. So that could be one that's worried about money. Maybe it works for the government. Maybe as a consequence of what's going on with the government. I'm just giving an example. In the United States, with the shutdown, other things are being affected. Today I was reading about WIC on you know, somebody's page, how WIC had been shut down. Women, Infants, and Children is a program that provides beans, milk, cheese, butter, cereal, vegetables, fruit to women, infants, and children. That's what the WIC stands for, Women, Infants, and Children. It's a program that was started in the 60s by the Black Panthers and became a federally funded program that, you know, runs permanently. But it's been one of the first to be shut down because of the government shutdown. Also, as of last week, there were stores around the country that were no longer accepting food stamps, even though food stamps, the way that funding works is the federal government sort of subsidizes the different state programs. But if your state, I guess, ran out of money or is concerned about running out of money with the food stamp program first, some stores began to get nervous about accepting the food stamps, and they just took it upon themselves to put up signs that they're not taking it anymore. I mean, I don't know. There's an unnumbered amount of things that could be happening as a consequence, a result of the government shutdown. Like that, this man has not only not thought through, does not have the capacity to think through, but doesn't give a fuck anyway. So it doesn't matter. So there could be somebody, and that, wouldn't that be the mothering thing to do, or the motherly thing to do, right? The Queen of Summer, to be feeling like the world is crumbling around her, but remain like she has it all together. That's what these cards are saying. And they're also saying that, you know, that's good. You should be like that because things are going to work out. I don't know how it's, you know, how it's going to present itself in your life, this energy. But it does turn out well. It is healed. There's Raphael again. From the perspective of a relationship on the side of the feminine, you know, this could be the startings of one, or the renewal of one, a couple getting back together or something. With the Page of Cups sitting here next to the 4 of Spring, atop the Magician, which, you know, maybe she manifested her relationship. It's her dream come true to be in a committed relationship. Or something like that. And it's sitting next to the Empress and the Queen of Air. Maybe a Queen of Air, an older woman, you know, and a younger water sign have something going on. That certainly fits my bill. I was seeing my natal chart before. Why not my relationship too? You know what I mean? God, I'm seeing so many things at one time. If we bring our overall energies back in, the Seven of Swords, about riskiness or joy stealing, someone trying to steal your joy, or some energy trying to take your joy. And the Lovers could be about love, relationship, or a decision you have to make, or both. Often well, typically a heart versus head decision, your emotions and your logic fighting, just as I said about the Prince of Winter and the Eight of Water. And it could be between two partners. So also, as I said here, this could be considering the masculine considering leaving a relationship, maybe to move toward another one, right? Somebody better fitted for himself, which would also fit with what we read about the transits that we're experiencing this week. And this fear and stuff, this in the middle here, the Page of Air and the Four of Autumn, can be however this energy is coming to you. It indicates a possible clinging to the old, right? And fear of taking that risk, or fear of making that decision and choosing, you know, what you really want, as opposed to what someone or something else may want. Some people may be considering moving in together, and that could be their dream. That could be their wish. Moving, traveling together. Or, you know, that could be metaphorically too. Moving forward together. Jobs, relationships. Getting justice, basically what we're due, what we're owed based on our karma. This could very easily here be Jupiter and that Neptune, the Jupiter and Neptune transit. These two cards could, you know, totally represent that. This is Jupiter paying off based on your karma. This is Neptune, your dreams, your fantasies coming true. Yeah. So the idea, the important thing this week is to be careful of this energy of being so anxious and or afraid of the new, whether it's leaving behind an old relationship for a better one, or leaving behind an old job for a better one, or an old home for a better one. Yeah, if you feel presented with this fear, this is the thing you gotta, this is the heart of the matter. This is on what we have to work. The letting go of the old, when the universe wants to come in, whether slowly or quickly, and give us something better. Further advice for both the masculine and the feminine. Also from my Angels of Abundance cards, because I was thinking about Venus and her transit this week. She rules abundance. I wanted to use these cards. Begin with block out distractions. Your life purpose rather, and other priorities need your undivided attention. So it's time for you to take charge of your schedule and your working environment by turning off electronics and avoiding anyone or anything that distracts you from what's important. You already know what these distractions are, and you have the responsibility and the power to block them out. So further advice to the masculine from the Angels of Abundance is conscious consumer. You have the power to heal and to help the world with your decisions to buy only products and services that are ethical and environmentally friendly. As a conscious consumer, you choose to invest in fair trade and organic goods. I was just talking about organic goods because with the, again, the closure of the United States federal government, I understand that this does not affect all of my viewers because many of you are on the other, I have clients on every continent of the globe but Antarctica. So I realize this doesn't affect everybody. But for those of us in the United States, the Food and Drug Administration, that's a federal organization. They're not there doing their jobs. I was reading about the airports. You wanted to travel. People want to travel. Well, the TSA doesn't have all its employees. And so they're going to be shutting down, various terminals, or having certain terminals only open part of the day because they don't have enough staffing. And what does enough staffing mean at the TSA? Is there going to be air traffic controller? Or are we just taking off and nobody's going to guide us when we're at risk of crashing into each other? But as it relates to the Food and Drug Administration and to organic foods, who's monitoring what's going out? What if there's an E. coli outbreak, right? So this is the benefit of eating locally farmed, whether you eat plants or meat or both or fish. Although I don't like locally farmed fish farms. I like wild caught fish if I'm going to be eating fish. But yeah, the idea is local and organic. And I was watching something yesterday on YouTube, and all of a sudden, you ever had like all of a sudden something else starts playing and you're like, what the hell is this? This isn't what I was watching. Well, that happened to me yesterday. I was watching this guy, Vegan Police. He used to be a vegan, and he, like myself, began to have some health issues. When you're vegetarian and or vegan for a long, long time, like prolonged time, and by prolonged, I mean, for example, I started on that journey in a very natural sense, very unconsciously. Don't give me too much credit. Like I was so noble that I was like, you know what, I'm making this move. I just very naturally, the one type of pork that I like, which was bacon, decided I didn't want to eat this anymore when I was like 17 years old. I'm 47. So that's what I mean by a long time of being vegetarian and or vegan, because that was the beginning of it. I just started dropping stuff. And before I officially went vegan or plant-based, I never wanted to identify as vegan for other reasons, having nothing to do with the food, and then everything to do with the other ideologies associated with it that I feel are detrimental to my people as a black woman. But that's a whole other story, so I'm not going into that. But it's a long time. Because of having been that way, for eating that way for so long, you can lack nutrients that are not naturally produced by plants for a prolonged period of time. So think about going decades with not enough vitamin D, or decades with not enough vitamin B12 or DHA or creatine, or your complete proteins, all these incomplete proteins that the plants make, and they're more difficult to digest, and so your gut is getting messed up. This is what happened to the gentleman at Vegan Police, and this is what happened to me in some ways. So because of that, he went the complete opposite, which I couldn't see myself doing, became carnivore. And then more recently, he did a 21-day water fast, and then he's been doing a juice cleanse. And I was doing a juice cleanse because as part of Divine Oneness, the group that we have on Facebook together, with the start of the year and the start of the month, we decided that we would do the master cleanse. A bunch of us. Others are just doing like a liquid diet for 7 days, or different juice cleanses. So I have been watching him, and all of a sudden, this weird, I don't know what it was. It was like these Nordic white people. They were going to a halal live animal butcher to get fresh food. So I was down with that. It was just weird to me because it was like these Nordic people with these accents, and they were looking for halal, which, for those of you who don't know, is like it's like Muslim kosher. It's Islamic food that was blessed, similar to what the Jews do to make food kosher, and it has to be killed a certain way and bled a certain way if it's meat and stuff like that. So I was just like, what is this? But anyway, that's like, it's about as fresh as it could get. Like, you go straight to the farm and pick the stuff there that was grown without pesticides, that was grown without making anything a hybrid. Nothing was created in a lab. If you're eating animal, they were cage free, free to graze and roam, and are hopefully being killed in as humane a way possible after having been treated in as humane a way possible. That's organic. Like this other stuff, even the vitamins, for example, that I talked about that I was lacking. Yeah, some people make omega 6, right, which is one of the other things that can get depleted. Omega 6 becomes omega 3, DHA, right? There's people that make that out of something from plants, but it doesn't come from plants naturally. It comes from fish oil. So if you're making it, even if you're doing it to accommodate me as a vegetarian or vegan, you're making it in a lab. It's synthetic. It's processed. It's GMO automatically. So that's my take on this. Because also when we do those things, like I don't tell people how to shop or where to shop and stuff like that. But for me, not only would I not want to buy something that was created in a lab like that, or vegetables that were covered in pesticides, because I don't want to ingest that, but also I don't want to support Monsanto. That's me. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But when we're talking about being a conscious consumer and about eating and just purchasing in general things, foods and products that are as organic as possible, that's my take on what it means. You live simply and you purchase only that which you need. And even that goes back to like the ancient ways of living. Not even ancient. The native people, indigenous people, they ate animals. They wore leather, they wore feathers, they still do. Their descendants today, or we still do. But you don't go around killing everything, hunting for sport. Or ripping up plants. Somebody cut down some Joshua trees yesterday. They're endangered, but are a national park attraction. Because of the government shutdown, somebody went into the national park. There weren't any rangers, and they cut down these fucking trees. I mean, it's just sick stuff going on. That's not being a conscious consumer. I got so upset about it because, as I taught last week, it was this is the month of Shavat. It began, and the Hebrew calendar began on the 7th, and it's basically the month of new life, particularly as it relates to trees. The month of new trees, and it just had very, spiritual connotations for me. I just got really upset about when I heard about this. But yeah, they're endangered plants, they're endangered trees. So it was horrible. So instead, we're guided to the masculine in particular. I didn't mean to go on a fun whole tangent. I guess maybe I was meant to, but I didn't mean to. Guided to live as simply as possible this week and to be, conscious about their impact on others and the environment. And for the feminine, dreams of abundance. As you sleep, God, your angels, and your higher self are giving you divinely guided ideas, answers, and solutions. Be sure to record your dreams in a journal because they contain valuable insights that will help you to manifest your desires into reality, which is all what this is about. And for the masculine, I think this has other meaning too, as far as conscious consumer, like think about what you're getting yourself into or what you're not in making this decision. And if that's what you want, in either case. Three of Winter. I knew I felt you guys leaving somebody or something too. Here it is. Loss, sadness. It's part of life, but you don't have to endure it alone. You may need a little time to yourself to heal, but once you work your way through your emotions, you'll be stronger than before. I can pull another card to further clarify that too, but I believe it's attached to here, and not wanting to leave something or someone, but knowing that it's best that you do because there's something else that you want more or that is better for you in your heart. that you know is for which you're destined, and you want to go after that. Feminine, it's another magician for us. Manifest upon manifest upon manifest. That's the ability that we have. That's our superpower of the week. There is magic in the air, and you can manifest everything that you need to be successful. Everything. And from the Angel Tarot, masculine, the moon. I don't think I said it out loud, but I started to say somebody might be leaving a water sign for an air sign. That came through. And now here we have the moon, which again is more Neptune energy, represents the sign of Pisces in the tarot. But Earth's moon is the ruler of the sign of Cancer. So it could be that too. Important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, release fears that hold you back. So you are going to get, again, like we saw the High Priestess too, you're going to get some insight, some clarity, some enlightenment to help you to make your decision. And you should follow those feelings in your heart and your gut and all, all of that, like the High Priestess would do. And for the feminine, it's a very good emotional and financial week for the feminine once she gets over her fear. You've come into your own. New partnerships or contracts continue to move forward. And the Two of Fire, of course, the Divine Union or Twin Flame card of the tarot. Just want to take one. Now, the Seven of Winter could be about, again, joy stealings or actual thievery, somebody having taken something away from us. That can be what leads to the masculine's loss or pain there too. The next card is already upright, so I will take this one to clarify the Three of Winter, and it's the Two of Winter. He's so troubled about this decision he has to make. He's so tied up in knots about it, right? That's the anxiety that came through. Procrastination is what this is too. Anxiety, procrastination, and worrying about what others will think. I mentioned that. I said, do what you would do what you want to do, what your gut tells you. And the Three of Autumn tells you the same thing. Follow your heart, your desires. Worrying about what others will think is blocking you from making a decision. If you're torn between your own desires and what someone else would have you do, or someone else's desires, maybe your mother's or the person you're currently with, mother of your children, maybe your family in general, whatever. If you're torn between what you want and what they want, follow your inner guidance. That's for your Three of Winter. And then right away they put the next card upside down because they don't want to tell me any more about this decision. It is yours to make, masculine. I hope you guys have enjoyed the weekly reading. I apologize if I did run on. I don't know if I did. I know I went on a little rant, but I don't know if it was extra or what, in the moment I wasn't really thinking about it. In any case, thank you guys for watching. Thank you to my Facebook followers and subscribers and viewers currently from there and on YouTube, and to my Patreon sponsors and subscribers as well. If you are not yet a subscriber of me here on YouTube, please do click the subscribe button. If you already are and you don't get your notifications, as I said in the beginning, you may want to check your settings, and you might have to hit the button again too. And if that still doesn't work, you may want to contact YouTube. I mean, I can, put protections on my channel and put protections on me and, my house and the area where I'm working, but I can't extend it, unfortunately. I haven't yet figured out how to manifest the power to protect each and every person that may tune in. So I need your help on your end to like, share, subscribe, look for your own notifications, contact YouTube on your own behalf if you need to. But I do appreciate you joining me. I'll be back with love. Namaste.